Good evening, everybody, and welcome back to another production of the Cross-Platform Baseball League. Dwayne and Ox back with you for another weekly roundup, and tonight we have a really exciting platter of things for you. I mean, it starts, I think, with the headline tonight, the playoff decision, draft day in the AA and the AAA, and Ox, take it away for us tonight. What does that even mean?
Okay, so we got a lot of stuff to cover tonight, Dwayne. Like you mentioned, it's an exciting time here, XBL. But for decision day, we've got the top four seeds in the AA and the AAA all announcing who they selected out of the remaining four seeds, two of which have come out of the round robin. So congrats to all the round robin teams that advanced into the final eight. And we're going to have decisions tonight from the top four teams of each of those leagues, like I said. And we're also going to get into the XBL playoff hunt, which is really heating up, the race for that 12 spot. And then we've also got top plays and wishbone stats to go over tonight.
Yeah, and with that said, it's a good summary of what we got for everybody, Ox, tonight. We're going to probably change things a little bit out of order so we can have the playoff decision days a little bit later in the show for you. So we're going to start with Wishbone's records and stats to watch. And these are some interesting things that he highlighted for us this week, mostly on the XBL side as far as records go. And you can see here starting off that Flash, congratulations, has reached the all-time win total with 147 career victories.
Yeah, congratulations to Flash, and he's really been piling them up here lately, Dwayne. He's been on fire, and one of those record-setting wins came over Ashnod the other night, 10-9.
Yeah, that is true. He's been heating up largely in this late season and is looking really good here. And Flash, being a commissioner of this league, having been a part of all 12 seasons, hasn't played in all 12 seasons. So to have the all-time win record, not playing in every single season as well, is a testament to a lot of the success that he's had.
Yeah, that's true. It's a good point. Well done to the Flash, and as commissioner of the league, founder of the league, it's pretty cool to be also the all-time wins leader.
Yeah, absolutely. And then the next thing we have to highlight is something we were following along the season as it went. This is Weaver reaching the all-time single season strikeout record here in season 12 with finishing his regular season schedule with 271 total strikeouts, beating the previous single season record of 240 set by Bice in season 8, which was the season of Velo. So big shout out to Weaver, two-time Von Eason winner, getting it done here with the big Ks.
Yeah, and we kind of alluded to this last roundup. We were, we talked about how close Weaver was and kind of prematurely congratulated him, which, as we found out in the last couple of days, Dwayne, premature congratulations can come back to bite you, but Weaver did, in fact, break the strikeout record. Congratulations to him. I think he's widely becoming known as the best pitcher around the Super Mega community. So definitely hats off to you, Weaver. And yeah, like you said, it's in the 90 Velo era, not the 99 Velo.
Yeah, that's definitely true. We've had some premature congratulations and decision making going on here that we're definitely going to get into a little bit later on in the show. A lot of excitement and a little bit of confusion here this week in the XBL and the round robins, but it's been a lot of fun. And now that we're finally here, it feels really good. And I think that brings us.
And Dwayne, real quick, just to touch on that, I just want to say that, sorry for the confusion, everybody, but it is pretty cool that we have so much parity in the AAA. Like there was like a 4 or 5-way tie. Like that's crazy to me that all these tiebreakers come into effect. But like you said, we'll get to that later.
Yeah, it's definitely a scenario we never even thought we'd have to prepare for, but it is a testament to all of the talent and fun that we get to have here. And yeah, let's move on to our next record in the XBL, and this one is the career hits record, which I managed to capture myself. If you wouldn't mind taking that away, Ox.
Yeah, congratulations, Dwayne. And he stands alone with 3,025 with the career hits. Dwayne currently claims. Oh, I'm sorry, that's the next one. So the Sox, 3,025 career hits, standalone. Finite Provision, Flash, and Jay Boops round out the top 4 on the all-time hit list.
Yeah, I mean, I just never thought 3,000 would be a number that anybody would reach in this league. That's just a testament to, I think, how long we've been doing it. It's
Mr. 3,000.
Awesome. Yeah, Mr. 3,000 indeed. It's great to be up there.
Yeah, that's pretty cool, man. And I got a cat fight going on behind me. Sorry about that. But congratulations to you and to Flash. Like we said, 2 OGs of the XBL, and it's cool to see you guys work your way up the career stat leaderboards like this because you guys have certainly grinded and earned it.
Yeah, thank you very much, Ox. Definitely well appreciated. And yeah, like you just said, all of these are longevity based records, and as we continue to have more and more players join, more and more players stick with us, like there's interesting faces popping up these career stat leaderboards, and it's a big part of Wishbone spreadsheets. So get in there and look at this stuff if you haven't already, because this is like a lot of fun. It's really something I spend a lot of time doing, on my days off when I'm, itching to play an XBL game and I can't get one. Sometimes I'll just go into the spreadsheet and look at where I stand, where I might be, where some other people might, end up in the leaderboard, and what's surprising. So, it's
truly a place where you can get lost in so many, different avenues on Wishbone spreadsheet. There's so many things to look at, and the things that can catch your attention. You can toggle in games, in season, career, all kind of different stats. But that does lead us to our final Wishbone stat sheet wizard point tonight, which is the career pitching Ks. Dwayne, you're also currently sitting atop the most career strikeout record Not to be confused with Weaver's single season K record. This is the XBL career Ks. Dwayne's sitting on top with 1438, 1,438 Ks. But just 30 behind him with 7 games remaining on his schedule and averaging 6.6 strikeouts a game. Jay Boops seems likely to catch you by the end of the season, Dwayne. So it's looking like a 2-horse race for those career strikeouts.
Yeah, no premature congratulations here. That's just good. Let's watch this one develop as it ends. And, you know, shout out to J Boops because he's been a season behind me all the way through. And that means he's been racking them up, you know, at a very, very strong rate, you know, just behind Weaver, you know, as far as the Ks per 9 goes. So this season he's doing really, really well. Just it's been a fun race to be a part of.
Yeah, Boops is somebody who gets slept on a little bit, I feel like, from the, you know, when you talk about the best pitchers in the league, he's always up there with, you know, the guy knows how to pitch for sure. You know, facing some of the better hitters in the league are always going to drive those season totals up. But Boops, I definitely would say, is one of the, you know, above average pitcher for sure, and the career numbers show that.
Yes, indeed. You know, it's these longevity records, like we already said, just starting to pop up all over the place, and that'll bring us into the XBL records that are still in reach. And these are 2 players we're highlighting here that are only 5 seasons or less in their XBL career, but they are challenging some of the big-time records and have already in the past, as we know. And the first one we want to highlight is Astronaut's Coupon, currently on pace to tie both of his standing records, the single-season home run record of 140 and run conversion rate of 55.2% with 8 games remaining. So he's on pace to tie and or break those, you know, with 8 games to play.
Yeah, Astronaut actually playing against Finite right now and putting up some numbers. So I'm sure he's, you know, putting some dents into both of these as we speak. You know, Astronaut doing what he does every season, seems to hit 100 home runs. It's crazy.
Yeah, the numbers are astronomical with him. He's putting himself almost into the 600 club after he already reached the 500 club earlier this season. So fun to watch the power numbers of Astronaut soar. They never seem to stop just reaching the top of the charts.
Yeah, and he actually, you know, he was off his typical pace that he started out on, and now he's gone to a higher contact build, and I think you're seeing the numbers get even better for the Blues this season.
Yes, indeed. And speaking of good numbers, this second highlight we have here about records that are still in reach are 2 records that I believe many of us, especially if you've been around since before the cross-platform era, believed would be potentially unbeatable in, you know, the span of forever. But now, as it stands, Lazy is currently flirting with breaking the 2 long-standing single-season hitting records of batting average and on-base percentage. The batting average record is held at 505 by Axel Grease in season 7, and the OBP record is 535, also by Axel Grease in season 7. So, can Lazy break Axel's batting records this season? It's been something we've been watching, but it's something that's very, very, very close.
Yeah, and that's just insane to talk about someone hitting 500. It's you know, as mind-blowing as talking about a major leaguer hitting 400 for an entire season. It's just something that's like, in today's era, you know, it's insane to think about just because of how tough everything is and how good the pitching is and all that. But just incredible for Lazy to be up there with both these records, you know, a 500 batting average and 535 OBP, just numbers you never see.
Yeah, you know, in an era which, you know, has all of the best players, you'd probably say plays Super Mega Baseball 3. You know, he's up there doing this on 90 ego, you know, each and every game he goes out there. So huge shout out to him. We'll see if he finishes out those records as the season goes on. So great job to Lazy, great job to Ash, and shout out to Wishbone for putting this all together once again for us tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. Thanks, as always, Wishbone. Yeah, good luck to Lazy and Ash as they chase those records here in the last, you know, the closing week of the XBL season.
All right, let's keep sliding into the business here. We'll start off with a little bit of XBL standings chatter and things like that for the playoffs. Let me just get myself set up here on both my monitors. I have a little bit of info I need to access on both screens. And here we're looking at the standings, mostly at the XBL portion, because as it stands, we have multiple players in that bubble group for the 12th playoff spot, don't we, Ox?
Yeah, absolute logjam coming in to the playoff cutoff here down at the finish line of the XBL. And something that I really get excited about seeing is the finish and the race for those playoff spots, because things just got even tighter this week. We see the Flash really jumping up there above that cutoff line. Flash, if the season ended today, he'd be in there. As would we see Pizza leapfrogging a spot up into the standings. So just so many teams right now are in contention or, right there on the bubble, as we see M. Bennings, Permatilt, Burning Rivers, and the Toe Beans of Squiggle Jones all have a chance to still make the playoffs.
Yeah, as things have developed this week, a lot of these teams now have a newly renewed chance to take advantage of one of these what is an open playoff spot. So it is exciting to see all of them in the race. What looks to be the magic number right now is 15 wins to get yourself into the playoffs. So a couple players right now really close to that in Wishbone and Webb, who look to probably search for their 15th win in their final 4 games, as they're both at 30 games. And then a couple teams, down there below that, you got Flash, the Moon Kingdom, J Boops, and the Mythics as well, all within reach of 15 wins.
Yeah, it's crazy. So we're looking at 32 games total for everybody, and
34. Sorry to correct.
Oh, I'm sorry, 34. And it looks like, we've got some guys with games remaining there, but it's interesting that 12 wins used to be kind of like that playoff cutoff line about what you needed to shoot for. So it's interesting now that it's we've raised the bar a little bit. 15 is that safe number you want to shoot for, as it's really going to come down to this last week. I want to see the play-in game, Dwayne. I want to see that tiebreaker.
Yeah, we might end up seeing it, and it's a matter of who it's going to be. It could be something that stems from what match of the weeks we have towards the end of Sunday too. All of those we're hopefully going to get a pair in, at least one, and there'll be playoff race matchups. So it'll be interesting to see in the XBL. Let's take a brief look too at the bracket as it stands right now. If it were to end today. A lot of interesting teams here, a lot of interesting matchups.
Let me enlarge this here. We got a sneak peek of the XBL playoff bracket. Okay, so okay.
Oh, sorry if you were behind the ball there, Ox. I didn't realize if you didn't have it up yet or not. I just wanted to go over a couple of the highlight matches from the first round, that we might end up seeing as it stands right now. Especially one that pops out at me is the Sentinels and the Flashertons, 2 players that have played each other tough in the past. I believe Flash might have split or swept GTM in seasons past. This season he wasn't as lucky, but in a 5-game set, those 2 players, on their best day are as similar as it comes, and in a 5v12 matchup, if Flash is the one who snatches that 12 seed, that would be interesting to see. But anybody who's going to face GTM in that, what is looking to assuredly be the 5 seed, is going to be up with Monolith.
Yeah, absolutely. That's a good observation there. And if GTM does get by the Flash, who, like we mentioned, is coming in red hot to these playoffs, it'd be crazy to see another Luke versus GTM quarterfinal there at the bottom left of your screen. We've seen that matchup a couple of times, I believe, and that would just be another colossal battle. And then Permatilt, I called you out earlier this week. Permatilt, I want to make you are the guy that's got to make it happen, make that play-in game happen for the 12 spot. I want to see somebody battle their way into that 12 seed, and maybe it's the Flash.
Yeah, it'll be interesting. I mean, Permatilt's at the mercy of the other players as it stands right now too, because he's finished his schedule at 12-22. Stoichiometry at 10-22, I think, has an outside chance of also pushing the group. But overall, yeah, it's going to be crazy in the entire 12 seed. As Mystery Man pointed out in chat, 8 versus 9 could be a huge toss-up as it stands. It looks like Wishbone and Webb will be the 8 versus 9 seed, because 1v7 looked pretty much set between the Ice Sox, Pandas, everybody else in that group, the Sentinels, and then you have your top 4 with the Beavers, Blackbirds, Blues, and Mallards. Still kind of jostling for position. I don't know if Weaver's quite clinched first place yet.
I was looking at the actual seeding, and it's interesting that Weaver is in that top spot because him and Lazy, I believe, have a chance to finish with the same record. So, I don't mean any disrespect to Weaver by this, but as we saw last postseason, he is beatable. People were able to take a game off of him here or there in the playoffs until he just caught fire later on. So, if you are Luke, if you are on that left side of the bracket right now, you've got to be thinking, well, hey, I want to come after the Beavers, the defending champs.
Yeah, for sure. It's definitely something that we're going to keep a huge eye on. Lazy has, 4 games to play, so if his numbers keep up, he will be, pushing himself probably into that 1 seed. They split, and then it would come down to their run differentials as it stands. Lazy, the offensive tank that we just talked about, he's been having a great season. So yeah, I think we highlighted a few things here that could tentatively be the case in the XBL. But let's get into, I think, what everybody really came here for tonight, Ox, and that'll be the AA playoffs to start off with.
Oh, the AA playoffs? Well, so we're getting into selection day right now?
Yeah, we're getting into selection day right here, right now. Everybody's here, ready to go, and I think everybody's ready for some quarterfinal matchups.
Well, as the Nazgul Nine's #1 seed, I actually get first pick. And first of all, just wanted to say congratulations to the L7, the Heaters, whatever he's got going on there. And then Joey and the Teamsters, the 2 guys on the right to come out of that round robin. Congrats to both those players, and good luck to both of you. I will not be picking either one of you. I'm going to be selecting the Best Buds of AG as my first round opponent.
All right, there you have it.
5 seed.
There you have it. The first pick in the AA quarterfinal playoff draft is the Nazgul 9 versus the Best Buds. Ox versus AG. Huge matchup there. 2 extremely strong teams. And that's definitely going to shake up the order as we go down the line. And what I did was, that since we don't have the other players here live with us, we just have Ox, we are going to go ahead and go through what I had as ranked lists for them, and their choices were all ranked, sent to me, and I have them filtered out from there. So the next pick goes to Rise and Fall and his Plum Island Pirates, and his choice, he was assuming that Ox may or may not pick AG, so he went for Joey and the Teamsters. He goes for the 8 seed, so you have a 2v8 there on the other side of the bracket. Congratulations to Joey again on getting through that round robin as the 12 seed.
Yeah, absolutely. Congratulations to Joey, who pulled off a couple of upsets in the round robin. Obviously, as you see, him coming out of there as the 11 seed. But also, it's interesting to point out, Joey and Rise and Fall just played in the final week of the AA season, not a week or 2 ago, and Joey split with Rise and Fall. So, me and the Pirates, both of us, the top 2 seeds, coming out swinging with our selections. A bit of raised eyebrows selection, but we're swinging for the fences early.
Yeah, for sure. This is definitely shaking out the AA playoff picture. This is something that we definitely didn't see present at the beginning of the season. All the fun and excitement we're going to be having here. So let's move on to, I think, the next pick, and that was from Ben and his Razorbacks, the #3 seed in the AA. And Ben, he had his ranked list set up so that it will be Rick and the Magicians, the #6 seed, who got an automatic bid as his pick there.
Interesting, Dwayne, that nobody yet has chosen Dad Slush and the L7s, as Ben, taking a page out of my book, coming after one of the better hitters in this league, and Rick and his Magicians, who he's no slouch at the dish, but neither is Ben, of course.
Yeah, that should be a huge matchup there. Rick has been known to turn on the offense and then keep a few games close, and then Ben has dropped a few here and there, even though he looks as powerful as can be on his day. So that's a matchup to keep your eye on, definitely in the AA. The winner of the 3v6 and now the 2v8 will be facing off in a big semifinal, and then that leaves us with L7 and Dad Slush, the winner of the round robin and the #9 seed, going to face off against Tam Danitz and the Hudson Softies in the other side of the bracket. The winner of that game, or that series, will face off against the winner of Nazgul 9 and Best Buds. So this series down here, 4v9, I guess technically you could call it. This should be a good one too, because Dad Slush has pitched everybody really, really tight this season. I don't really think he's been one of the players who's lost a lot of games by big runs.
Yeah, absolutely. If you take a look at the AA stats, Dad Slush's excellent pitching stats and run differential, like you said, played a lot of close games with just about everybody. And I think that's why you're seeing, it fell all the way down to the 4 spot for Tam Danitz. He doesn't, he de facto doesn't actually get to pick who his opponent is since it's the last remaining team. But interesting that it's the 9 overall seed in the AA coming out of the round robin that he's left with to pick. I'm sure if you're the Hudson Softies, you gotta like that.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, this is just a great group of players, I think, overall, and I couldn't call it today how exactly these matchups are all going to fall. I mean, if you had to predict them, there's a lot of parity here, as we saw in the AA all season, but now as we saw, as players have progressed, in their talent, and they went through the round robin, things like that, and then the late season push, I think everybody's as close as ever, so this is going to be very exciting.
Yeah, it's really cool because, typically in a seeded bracket all the way out, it would have been 1 versus, the lowest seed and 2 versus whatever. But now we actually have quite a different set of pairings than you would have seen if it, went straight by the book. So this is definitely spicing things up for the AA playoffs, and the AAA playoffs are going to be equally as spicy, I think, with, the addition of the round robins and then this cool selection show that we get to bring to you tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think that clears us now to go ahead and head into the AAA round robin selection show. And before we get into, I clicked on the wrong one here. Here we are. Before we get into that, let's cover a little bit of the timeline of how we got to here with the AAA round robin. I think we would be remiss without covering that before we get into selecting, which was it was a pretty crazy past couple days as far as the AAA round robin goes. We had Mystery Man prematurely declaring himself in the tournament, and then he was out of the tournament, and Deck was in the tournament. Now he's out of the tournament. Mystery Man's back in the tournament, and Tezzy was never going to get his games in, and all of a sudden he's at the top at 5-2. So I don't know. There's a lot going on in AAA.
Right. There was so much going on, man, and I saw a couple of people saying it was kind of tough to keep up with. Hey, I don't blame you. It really was. And as you take a look at those records, we had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 people in those on the right side of your screen get a 4-3 record. That's insane. A 5-way tie. But as you see, Tezzy with the best record will move on. Mystery Man, of those 5 teams, does have the plus 15 run differential, and then it came down to wins among those 4 and 3 teams. Who did you beat? Who did you lose to? So a bit complicated of a situation. Like I mentioned earlier, we didn't really foresee a 5-way tie being the deciding factor on who gets the nod as that final seed to come out of the round robin, but. Just a big shout out to all the AAA players. I mean, you gotta love seeing all these teams put together a 4-3 round robin to really be in contention for the spot. It's a shame it came down to something like a tiebreaker, but huge shout out to all those players for putting themselves in that position.
Yeah, it's a testament to all the parity we have in this league and in the AAA this season, especially. I mean, this round robin, you wouldn't have called it at the end. That look, you literally have the 2 players going through as a sandwich of all the other players. It's the 14 seed and the 7 seed. So congratulations to them on making it through the round robin. And sorry from me again to anybody who was distressed or confused by all of the premature declaring that this round robin went through. Because it did come down to, as Ox stated, it came down to the tiebreakers, and just to be completely specific, it was head-to-head and then run differential, and then all those teams were tied, so it was a 5-way tie. And all those teams had to have an aggregate head-to-head ladder, and then in that ladder teams were tied, and those tied teams had to go by run differential. So we did a lot of math, and we figured it all out, and we got to here today. So congratulations again to Tezzy and Mist for getting through. And I think after all that explanation, we can finally move on into our first AAA pick, right, Ox?
Yeah, and I think it goes, we need to just mention one more time as identical to last season's playoffs, actually, but a big shout out to the mystery man. This guy won 2 games the entire season, folks. He went like 2-22 or something crazy, and he throws up 4 wins in the round robin. The guy's mastered the rope-a-dope, like I think you said earlier, Dwayne. But it's insane to me to see the plus 15 run differential and the 4-3 record, doubling his regular season output. So that's pretty impressive. But and at the same time, big sorry to Deck, as we thought he was going to be the one going on, and he got leapfrogged there. So, but yeah, without further ado, Big George does select Mystery Man, the 14 seed of the AAA, who now becomes the 8 seed. He will slide into that Night Owls quarterfinal spot.
Yeah, huge pick there, huge series. The Mystery Man makes it all the way through the gauntlet as the 14 seed to come and face the big #1 dog in the quarters. So congrats to him on getting through, and we'll see how he makes out versus those Night Owls. I hope, we see some close ball games. It's going to be a big best of 5 here in the AAA.
Yeah, and congrats to George for running the table here in AAA. I think he went wire to wire, and a very strong season all the way around. He's just a great all-around ball player. And, George, nothing but good things to say about you, buddy, but I think you're crazy for picking the Red Hot Mystery Incorporated right out the gate. But, good luck to both teams. That'll be a good series.
Yeah, we saw him last season trailblaze his way into the quarterfinals, and now he made his way through that round robin. We'll see if he can stay hot, through the quarterfinals this time. That would be a great story for him in this AAA. Like you said, doubling his win total in the round robin. Just insane what he turns on for the playoffs. And speaking of, let's go on to the next side of the bracket. Our number 2 pick comes from Blue Panther and the Foxes. His ranked list leaves us with him choosing the heavy hitters, the number 7 seed and other player in the round robin, as his choice.
Wow. See, that's surprising to me, Dwayne. I really did not expect both guys coming out of the round robin to be the first 2 teams picked here, because, name 2 guys that give you more matchup problems than Mystery and heavy hitters. That's going to be a tough matchup for Blue Panther to take down Tezzy. He's been known to beat just about anybody, but, good luck to both of those guys. It's going to be a lot of fireworks.
Yeah, fireworks indeed. Those 2 players, are as close as ever, and I think both of them were in the conversation for the top seed and the top power ranking as AAA began, and now we have them, here in the quarterfinals. It feels like a semifinal matchup between those 2, and they're going to only have 5 games to do the dance. So,
yeah, a couple of heavy hitters indeed.
Yeah, for sure. And that'll bring us to our next pick in the AAA. This pick comes from Just No Name and the Base Bandits, who had a great season in AAA themselves. Ready and waiting. He chose the Sirloins, and this is Eduardo as his pick in the AAA draft. And this is insane.
I specifically asked not to be told in advance of these matchup picks because I wanted to be surprised, and I'm somewhat surprised that I'm not surprised at all that No Name picks Eduardo, but I think that's going to be a battle for the centuries. 2 guys with real similar styles and real familiar opponents.
Yeah, that's going to be the small ball war to end all small ball wars. Whoever comes out of that is the king. It's going to be crazy. 2 totally different brands of baseball. I think, you're going to see Base Bandits doing their thing, banditing bases, and then the Sirloins, running starters into the ground, pitching 12, 13 innings with their starting pitcher, however it's going to work out for Ed. Both these players, again, they were in the conversation for winning the AAA perhaps, and now they're facing off in a quarter. This is nuts.
Yeah, and really, none of these 8 teams would shock me if they won this AAA World Series. You're just throwing names in a hat at this point. A big shout out for the Night Owls and the Foxes for basically being the top 2 teams all season long. But really, if it comes down to 5 or 7 games, people have been beating up on each other all season long in AAA. I think it's going to go the distance in just about every series. Hopefully. And I think we're going to see some great battles.
Yeah, indeed, because the next battle we have to talk about, let's not stop there. Let's slide right on over to the other side of the bracket to the number 4 pick. The player that's left for Unholy Milkman and the Unholy Yeezus to play in the quarterfinal is going to be the number 6 seed Femme Fatales and Chronic Lies, the AAA runner-up from last season. So this one here, again, a humongous matchup.
It's these these matchups in AAA might even be even more spicy than the AA picks. I mean, Milkman versus the Femme Fatales. Arguably the two most skilled players in the league. It's tough to say who's the best player in AAA. We're certainly going to find out. But wow, what a first round matchup between the Milkmen, who every season in AAA they've put up near the top offensive numbers, and then you've got the Femme Fatales, one of the best pitchers, but also, as we saw, he can really crank it up in the playoffs at the plate as well, and is unfazed by the ego bump. Should he get there?
As was pointed out in chat too, this is a rematch of the semifinal last season after Unholy Milkman, remember, dispatched of the undefeated one-eyed Seaman in the quarterfinals and made it to the semis, and then he lost to I believe the Femme Fatales on the way to the World Series.
I think Milkman pushed Seaman to 5 games, lost.
Oh, excuse me. Yeah, I'm sorry. You're right. I'm misremembering.
But certainly Milkman. Yeah. Milkman has had really bad luck in the last 2 postseasons. He drew Corruptions his first postseason, and then drew Seaman after beating D-Sil, I believe, in a close series. So Milkman again getting a tough draw here, facing the defending runner-up Chronic Lies. But Milkman's as tough as anybody, so that's going to be a great series.
Yeah, I think 4 extremely good series all around, and if we have a reward show and playoff predictions next week, like I believe we should, these will be probably in progress already, if not finished. So we'll have some really interesting stuff to go over then. This is a great set of games.
Yeah, absolutely. Stay tuned next week for our award show, as we brought you plenty of spicy material tonight with these with the selection shows. I'm just mind blown by all the pairings, and I cannot wait to for this to get started. By the way, AAA, AA playoffs can begin play, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, they can begin play after this stream. As soon as Ox and I depart here after our plays of the week, I will open up the AA and AAA playoff lobbies for you guys with the ego set and everything like that. So just keep your heads up for the codes for those if you want to get into them early, get your games scheduled. You guys can start playing tonight, so that's exciting stuff.
Well, I think that wraps up all of our playoff talk, as we've shown you both the AA and AAA brackets, as well as the sneak peek of what the XBL bracket looks like, and as well as Wishbone stats. So now all that's left is for our top plays of the week, right, Dwayne?
Yeah, we got 5 good plays for you this week, and we will not waste any time and get into number 5. This is another nice submission from Dark Raider the Goat. He always does kindly to give us a little zoom in there, as you see Peapod Tanner making the grab in center field in a close round robin game up against the Golden Doodles.
Yeah, absolutely. What a play right here. And actually, I'd like to just throw in a curveball here. Can we add a season award to the best highlight submitter? Because I think Dark Raider the Goat deserves that award.
I don't know. I think we just did. There you go. So we might have to bring it up again next week. Yeah, and it does zoom in on a little bit of it, maybe an some inconsistencies in where the ball and the hitbox are. But we're not gonna talk about that. That's not what we're here for. Great highlight there from Dark Raider.
Yeah, absolutely.
We're gonna move on to number 4 here. This one's from Tazzy. You got runners going, and then his shortstop already on second, waiting for the steal, makes the diving catch, and has the heads-up awareness to get it to first in time for the double play.
Yeah, this is a crazy one. I mean, catch the ball,
yes.
Tezzy.
Yes, catch the ball.
But, he was well positioned there with the hit and run put in play. Not a bad move at all there by Ball Justice with the hit and run. That would have been a base hit, had there not been runners on first and second, or a lefty at the dish. So that's a tough double play, but catch the ball, baby.
Yeah, Tezzy there with the reflexes to get it done. Always happy to get 2 outs and end an inning like that for sure.
Ice these bros. Cube with the nice play.
Yeah, see, iced him out real good. As we move on to number 3, this is a submission from Wishbone Rules. This is him versus the Flash. Actually going to be 2 catches here from his center fielder Gus Grissom. Just absolutely laying out the leather here. Let's get a good look on it.
Gus is the worst on paper starter for the Knots, but he's a clubhouse leader. and he does things, to lead this team in other ways. Absolutely laying out for a couple plays. We got a 2-for-1 special for you from Gus here.
Yeah, the nice 2-for-1. Nice editing there to Wishbone as well. Just making the highlight easy to, keep compact and right here for you guys to see. Gus Grissom is pesky out there in center field if you know him in the XBL and I guess in AAA's past. So he's got a well-deserved place on some top plays here tonight.
Yeah, absolute thievery in the outfield as he extends fully for the dive and robs Flash of what would have been extra bases for sure. But that one that one in the right center gap is insane. I can't believe off the bat that he had any chance.
Yeah, for sure. Awesome catch there by Wish. And we'll move on now to number 2. This is another great catch. This comes from the series, the El Clasico, the Ashnod versus Lazy. And there's Lazy out there moving to his left, making the grab out there in front of the short wall of Red Rock on the run. Humongous catch by Amy B.
Yeah, and this was right after Ashnod had an incredible comeback in this game, Dwayne. His pitcher hit a grand slam. Oh, sorry. Spoilers.
You're good. That's for comedic effect.
But this was a heck of a defensive play here by Lazy to put a stop on the rally by Ash.
Yeah, dude, it was a great play there by Lazy. Like we said, huge reactions to get out there, right? And then the number 1 play of the week, as Ox alluded to, we got Ashnod's pitcher, Willie Dixon, at the plate. Deep to right, 93 power swing. That baby's carrying. You can see Ashnod in the corner wishing it goes out. There's the reaction. Pitcher grand slam. Huge.
And this came at a time when I was watching this game where Ash was down big pretty much right out the gate and was just looking for ways to try to compete and stay in this game. And, he put a couple base runners on and had to lead the pitcher in to hit. All of a sudden, whacks a grand slam. We've got a 1-run ball game.
That is absolutely insane.
And without the robbery that Lazy pulled off after this, it could have really been a ball game.
Yeah, for sure. These two never, cease to have all of the exciting moments. They really go back and forth all the way through. Always extra innings, it seems to, when it comes to them, or at least the bottom of the 9th getting involved. So great drama and great games to them. Always a privilege to, watch when these two get to play. And shout out to Ashnod for streaming it. They're giving us great reactions and great clips to feature here tonight.
Yeah, absolutely. And Lazy did come away with the sweep in this series to remain a 2-loss team. So that did bump Ashnod firmly into that 3rd slot, I believe. But a great series by these two, and as we showed you in the sneak peek, if Lazy were to finish 2nd, these two could be facing off in the semifinals, barring any upsets.
Yeah, that could very be true. If they end up in the semis facing each other 1st and 2nd, that would be unprecedented. Many people having this pinned for the World Series rematch, but if they meet earlier, they'll just have to get to business earlier than scheduled. That's all. So. It'll be interesting.
Yeah, well, one of them's either going to have to go through either each other or Weaver, presumably, to get to the World Series. So it's not going to be easy.
No, it's not. It's going to be a gauntlet, presumably, as we say. We got a few weeks to go, and the rest of Week 7 to play. David. Yeah, watch out for anybody in the XBL playoffs and the AAA and the AA playoffs. Now we have a lot of excitement for you, as we stated. We'll go. There's lobbies open for you guys to get your quarterfinals rolling, and yeah. With that said, I think we just got to get our Week 7 games done here in the XBL, and then the playoff horses rolling in all three leagues.
Yeah, good luck to all the playoff teams, and really good luck to the XBL guys with remaining games. Good luck getting those in, and can't wait to see how those play out because those last remaining games determine everything for the playoffs picture there in the XBL, and then some spicy matchups in the minor leagues, man. Good luck to all 8 teams in both leagues.
Yes, good luck to everybody. Thank you, everybody, too, for getting the games in. I know there was some deadline pushbacks and some prodding from the league office and stuff to get games done, but everybody managed to get their scheduled games in, and if they couldn't, we accommodated for that, and we worked with everybody as best as we could, and everybody was cooperative. So shout out to each and every one of you for being a part of that, making it possible, getting us here to the most exciting part of the season, which is the playoffs. So we'll have another roundup and award show for you next week. We'll have match of the week for you this weekend on Sunday night. And yeah, with that said, big thank you from me and Ox. Thank you to Ox for being here with me again tonight. And we'll see you guys on the flip side. Have a great evening, everybody.
Yeah, thanks, Wayne. Thanks, Wishbone. And thanks, everybody. Good luck to you in the playoffs.